Hi, my name is Jasprit Singh and I am here to show you a new invention of science, that is Hyperloop. So let's have a look what Hyperloop is. So it is a new way to move people and things at airline speeds for a price of a ticket. So it is an on-demand and energy efficient medium of transportation. So we can say it is a broadband for transportation. Like it is a proposed mode of passenger and freight transportation that propels a pod-like vehicle through a near vacuum tube at the more than airline speed. This pod would accelerate to cruising speed gradually using a linear electric motor and glide above their track using a passive magnet levitation, or they might use air bearings. It is hoped that the system will be highly energy efficient. Let's talk about the history of this model. So the general idea of trains and the other transportation traveling through evacuated tubes dates back more than a century, although the atmospheric railways was never a commercial success. So Elon Musk first mentioned that he was thinking about a concept for a fifth mode of transport, calling it a Hyperloop. In January 2012, at Pando Daily event in Santa Monica, California, he proposed the first model. From late 2012 until August 2013, a group of engineers from Tesla and SpaceX worked on the conceptual modeling of Hyperloop. And in 2015 of June, SpaceX announced that it would build a 1-mile long test track to be located next to SpaceX Hawthorne facility. So the track would be used to test the port design supplied by the third parties in the competition. So this is a model for the Hyperloop prepared by Hyperloop One company. So let's have a look on the characteristics of Hyperloop. So the main features are it is a collision free, so there is no traffic bound and no collision, no accidents in this kind of medium of transportation that they call Hyperloop. And the speed will be twice as the speed of the plane. So it will run at the speed of 760 miles per hour, and it is really no low power consumption. So it will be less power consuming than other mediums of transportation. It will store the energy for 24 hours of operation. It is super fast, unstoppable, and sleek design. It is cheaper for travelers. So people talking to Hyperloop from Los Angeles to San Francisco will only need to pay $30, bringing a round-trip ticket to $60. So a plane ride costs like $71 to $150 based on the ticket prices at the time of writing. And if a bulletin train can cost more than and take longer than a typical plane ride, the only real incentive for taking the train would not be a deal with the hassle of security and lines. And that is a good enough reason. But the Hyperloop wins out either way, coming in far cheaper, much faster, and the 80 minutes plane ride, which costs $125 between San Francisco to LA. So breaking it down further even more, just consider the distance. It is $60 for 766 total miles with the Hyperloop, and $89 for 460 total miles with the bulletin train. So it is cheaper than all other mediums of transportation. And the Hyperloop capsule will come in every 30 seconds, so it will be more frequently than other mediums of transportation. Okay, so the concept behind the Hyperloop. So it sends specially designed capsule or ports due a continuous steel tube maintained at the particular vacuum. So the model provided by Elon Musk. The original concept was each capsule floats on a 0.5 to 1.3 mm layer of air provided under pressure to air caster, similar to how pucks are suspended in the air hockey table, so while still allowing for speed that wheels cannot sustain. So in the original Hyperloop concept given by Musk, an electrically driven inlet fan and air compressor would be placed at the nose of the capsule to actively transfer high pressure air from the front of the rear of the vessel. It will resolve the problem of air pressure building in the front of the vehicle. So it usually slows the vehicle down, and a fraction of air is shunted to the skies for additional pressure. So the main idea is to reduce the air pressure. So the air pressure is the main cause to reduce the speed. First of all, we are using a vacuum tube that will reduce almost all the pressure, and we are using a nose capsule and a magnetic field around that Hyperloop, so it will totally lower down the air pressure. So, and the fun for one more feature, it also has a solar power ability. So at the top of that vacuum tube there will be solar panels that will be used, like mainly it will run on electricity, but we can also use solar power to reduce our electricity expenses. So if we compare the time to travel from San Francisco to LA, it will take very less time as compared to other mediums of transportation. So if we are traveling by car, it will take 6 to 8 hours from San Francisco to LA, and if we are taking a flight, it takes 5 to 6 hours. And a bulletin train, it takes 3 hours and 10 minutes. And our Hyperloop, it will take only 50 minutes. So that is the great time consuming. It will reduce the time at all the costs. So the bullet train will reach 150 miles per hour, taking people from San Francisco to Las Vegas in 80 minutes. It is best than all the mediums of transportations. Okay, then we'll talk about Hyperloop One. This is a company in Los Angeles, California that provided the first Hyperloop concept. So they are using a linear electric motor to accelerate and decelerate a levitated pod through a low pressure tube. So with rolling assistance eliminated and the air resistance greatly reduced, the capsule can glide for the bulk of the journey. The vehicle will glide silently for miles with no turbulence. Hydrovan says it is happening faster than you think. We tested our motor in May 2016, and they will test the full system in early 2017. And they are developing routes in 5 countries. The goal is to be moving cargo by 2020 and passengers by 2021. First, they will use to transport cargo, and after they are fully succeeded in that model, then they will use that for transporting for passengers. And the world is ready for a new mode of transportation that will change the way we live, and we are in a business of selling time. So they are just selling the time. The most precious resource is the time. When cities become metro and And they says that when cities will become metro stops and regions will flourish. The first public test of this concept on the open air track will take place in North Las Vegas. They're aiming to hit 4,400 miles per hour. Okay, let's have a look on a video. It is by Hyperloop 1. This is their team and they are working on this model. This is the vacuum tube that we'll use. So this location is in North Las Vegas, California. Because this was the design video prepared by Hyperloop 1. And there is a new design for Hyperloop 1. They are setting it up in 5 different countries and one of them is United Arab Emirates. So the portal will be located in front of Burj Khalifa and it will provide you direct access to the world's tallest building, that is Burj Khalifa, and world's largest shopping mall, the Mall of Dubai. So the ring-shaped portal spans over its busy intersections at 3 locations. So there will be 3 locations for the portal in Dubai. So here are my references. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.